Hi guys, welcome to Vic and Vern Sports Show. Welcome to the Defcon Rugby Show. I'm Vic, and we're going to get into a little bit of the lineups for the weekend. There was so much going on this week, so many internationals. We did the show yesterday, but we couldn't get into all the lineups, and I did promise you that. So I thought we'll do a show today. We'll be looking at the world rankings once again. You know what implications it could have on each of the games. But we've got to start as usual. We've got to ask, what do we think? What level is the DEFCON? If you guys don't know what, that's why we've named the show the Defcon Rugby Show. We built it on the American security rankings. Look, I don't know. We're not at. I don't think we're at bomb squad. Crazy, all out, everything. I think it's definitely DEFCON 3 at the moment. Vern is in the house, so I think we get ready, guys. It's going to be a big weekend. We got 5 of the international games on this channel. Some people say we are befokt. If you don't know what befokt is, because you're not a student of the Afrikaans language, it means we're a little bit lala. We're doing a lot of games, doing Man United as well, but check it out. So, yeah, looks like it's DEFCON 3 at the moment. Get ready. Stuff is happening. But, topics there. Of course, we're going to be looking into those games. Make sure you check that out. I've always got to remember to pull it over. There you go. And then don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit the notification button. The goal is to get to 10,000, 110,000, ladies and gentlemen. And don't forget, next week we should get that nice little button. I got an email. It's coming. So I'm looking forward to that. Talking about emails, here we go. That's our email address on top there. Check it out if you want to contact us. Should be interesting. I'm going to put the heart out there because we do love you guys on the channel here. So there we go. Listen, you guys, I'm going to do a little bit different today. I'm trying to do my best. I've got a lot of things to get into. These are the fixtures. I'm going to move over quickly, like I put my head to the one side there. These are the rugby fixtures for the weekend. Check them out. I mean, you got good ones. I'm going to do a little bit of a tip game at the end of the game. So I'm going to tip all the games, then we can see on Monday what do I know about rugby. I call myself the rugby savant, but I'm not. There you go. So that is the things. But at the end of the show, we'll get into those tips. Those are the games that are coming up. So don't worry. Put that out the way. Look, let's start with the world rankings. Hi Ronnie, hi Rose Garden, hi Vern, Gupta, Sean, Hill, Rory, Dion, Yanlu, Zach the Attack Burger. Zach, what is Zach writing there? If he was in the team, they'd win by 25. Zach, fuck off, man. Don't talk cack, man. If they were in the team, we'd all be shitting ourselves, man. If you were in the team. There you go. Let's have a look at those world rankings quickly. Okay, 1 to 6. But I put it into 1 to 6 because basically that is the rankings for the draw for the Rugby World Cup coming about 2 weeks' time, 2 to 3 weeks' time. So South Africa at 1, of course, New Zealand, Ireland, England, France, and Argentina. I think the top 4 could still be changing a little bit, but we'll see. Then, of course, you have 7 to 12. That would be the next bracket. Australia in there, they need to get into that top 6 spot there as well. And then you have Japan trying to get into the top 12 to avoid playing 2 strong teams. You got the USA, Spain, Samoa. And then in the bottom there you have Hong Kong and of course Portugal, Uruguay. And guys, I was looking at these world rankings. My Swiss are in 25th. We're coming, baby. We're coming. The minute you put the rugby on snow, then we're going to be the best in the world. So don't worry about that. There you go. So let's have a look. Let's start on the Sunday game, which is going to be Argentina against Wales. I'm going to do it like this. Put the Argentinian 15 out, put the Welsh 15 out. There you go on each side. You guys can look through them. I'm not going to always go through all of the players, but I'll start off with the Argentinians there. Look, Julia Montoya at 2. I like him a lot. There you go. Mako Vivas at 1. Pedro Delgado. That was a cyclist, man. Pedro Delgado. I remember that, man. Won the Tour de France a few times. Then Guido Petti, Marcos Kremer, Pablo Matera. Just got to hit that button quickly. There you go. I just got to put it out there for you, of course. Then you have Juan Martin Gonzalez, Joaquim Oviedo, Simon Benitez Cruz, Geronimo, my friend Geronimo Piscantelli, Matteo Carrera, Santiago Chocabares, Justo Picardo, Bautista Dulgi, and Santiago Carrera. So, yeah, that's the starting lineup. I'll put the subs out later. I'm not going to mention all the subs. Then on the Welsh side, you have Reece Curran, Davy Lake, Kieran Azarati, Daffide Jenkins, Adam Beard, Alex Mann, Jack Morgan, Aaron Wainwright, Thomas Williams, Dan Edwards, Josh Adams, Ben Thompson, Max Llewellyn, Tom Rogers, and Blaine Murray. Look, this is a big weekend for Wales, let's be honest. It is a Mursa weekend for Wales. Welsh rugby is at a crossroads, my friend. Either they're going to get better, or they're not going to be in the top 12 of the world rankings anymore. They're going downhill fast. Their club rugby is not doing well. Their federation is in all disarray. And Wales is such a, how do you say it? Such a likable country, you know. They got good singers. They got Tom Jones. They got good-looking women. They got Catherine Zeta-Jones. They got beautiful football players in Ryan Giggs. I mean, come on. It's a great nation of Wales, and then they used to be very good at rugby. I mean, when I was a kid growing up, there was this series out there about a Welsh rugby family, 3 brothers trying to make it to the Welsh national team. Can't remember the name. That was many years ago, about 40 years ago. Wales is a likable country. I mean, ratatouille comes from Wales, man, the good food. So, Wales, get your act together, my boys. There you go. Just to get everything out there, those are the subs of both teams, so check that out. Thomas Gallo is one of the subs for Argentina. I like him a lot. Santiago Crodona, another one. Ricardo Iscaro, good there. I'll be honest with you, I'm not that astute with the Welsh team because I don't do mediocrity on this channel. And we're talking about Wales. But look, that game's on Sunday. And because that game's on, and it will be live on this channel, your host will be Vern for that one. So a lot of paper tossing, a lot of emotion. Wales against Argentina. I'm not going to tell you my bet because at the end of the game, I've got all the tips for all the games. So check that out later. Then we move on to the country. You know what? I got to do something here. I got to put it out over there. There you go. So that is the game that's coming up. Don't worry. Yeah? Vern will be doing that one. Then we move on. We move on to Australia against Italy. Put it out there for you guys. Those are the starting lineups for your Italians and for your Australians. We'll always start with the away team first, of course. Look, Angus Bell is in there. Matt Faisler, Tanila Tupu, Nick Frost. I'm missing Will Skelton, man. Jeremy Williams, Tom Hooper, Fraser McWright. I like Fraser McWright. Harry Wilson, the man of the Reds cap. Don't forget, you can't miss him. He's been playing really well. Jake Gordon. I'm really looking forward to seeing Jake Gordon. I think he's a sensational player. Carter Gordon, don't know if they're brothers or not. Harry Potter, the magician, been playing very well. He needs some magic on the weekend. Hunter Paisami, Joseph Akusa Sawali, Corey Toole, and Andrew Callaway. Those are your starters for your Australians. Australia must. They must win. You bloody mongrels from down under, you better win this game because otherwise you're going to be in the second pot for the World Championships, and that means it's going to be a lot more difficult for you guys. And I would have actually liked to see Australia and Argentina in the top pot and England forward to the second pot, but that's not going to happen. On the other side, of course, you have the spaghetti-eating Italians who actually have done a lot for rugby lately. You have Daniel Fischetti, Giacomo Nicotera, Simone Ferrari, Niccolo Canone, Andrea Samboni, Ross Vincente, Manuel Zulani, Lorenzo Canone, Stefan Varni, Pablo Garbisi, Montiglione, Tommaso Monticello, Juan Inacio Bres. Then you have Louis Liner, that sounds Australian, my friend. And Ange Capuzzo, that's your starting teams for your Italians and your French. Let me just put out the subs for you as well there, that you guys can see who the subs are. I'm going to stick it on the screen right now. There you go. Billy Pollard coming off the bench for the Aussies. Zane Nongo on the bench. Rob Valentini's on the bench. Coach, what are you thinking, man? He's your best player. Tane Edmond also off the bench for the Italians. Marco Riccone. Spagnola is off the bench. Di Bartolomeo. Marine is also off the bench. So, yeah, I think this could be a tight one, you know. But I do think the Aussies, a little bit on the... I think they're going to do it, the Aussies. Of course, that game is live on this channel as well. Italy against Australia. That's another one that Vern's doing. Vern's doing that one as well. That's going to be on Saturday at 17:30. So join us for that. Then we move. We keep on moving, man. We keep on moving. There we go. We move down to another game that should be interesting. I'll put this one out this time. This first. It's going to be England against Fiji, live with me on Saturday. I hope my Uzo's there from the islands. If the Fiji do well there, that's going to be starts at 8:30. So join us for that. We'll see. We will see. But let's have a look at the starting lineups quickly for both teams. There we go. There you have the starting lineups for both teams. I'll get into the starting lineup of Fiji. For all my Fijian Uzos out there, please don't laugh and fall off your chairs when I start pronouncing all these names. I'm going to start doing my best for this one. So at number 1, we have Aroni Maui. At number 2, we have Tev Ika Avera. At number 3, we have Message Doge. At number 4, we have Izoa Naza La Sila. At number 5, we have Timo Maya Na Vanu. At number 6, we have Kit Ione Sakawa. Number 7, we have Elia Kana Kai Vata. At number 8, we have Villa Amea Mata. At number 9, we have Simone Kura Voli. At number 10, we have Caleb Muntz. Like Caleb Muntz a lot. At number 11, we have Yuta Vaini Kuolo. At number 12, we have Josh Tui Sova. At number 13, we have Kalaveti Ravuvu. At number 14, we have Celestino Ravu Tau Mada. And at number 15, we have Salizi Rayazi. There you go. So, I mean, look, that's the team, you know. On the bench for them, we'll get to that later. Let's have a look at the English. Names a little bit easier for me there with the English. Of course, at number 1, you have Ellis Gang. At 2, you have Luke Cowan-Dickey. At number 3, we have Joe Hayes. At 4, Alex Coles. 5, Ollie Chisholm. At number 6, we have Guy Pepper. He played very well last week. He was in my team of the week. Don't forget, I will be doing a team of the week on Monday again. Then at 8, Ben Earl. At number 9, Chandler Cunningham South, not North. Alex Mitchell. I like Alex Mitchell a lot as a fly half. He's starting at number 9. At number 10, you have Finn Smith. At number 11, you have Emmanuel Fai Wabuzo. At 12, Fraser Dingwall. At number 13, Ollie Lawrence, another player I like. Number 14, Tommy Freeman. That's Django's brother. And then at number 15, surprise, surprise, back in the team, Marcus Smith. Vern's favorite player. I do like Marcus Smith a lot. Then let's have a look at the subs from both teams quickly. There we go. We'll put that out there. Bang. There you go. Who to watch out there? Mizaki Voko. I like him a lot from the Fijians. Of course, Isaiah Armstrong Ravula. Let's look at the substitutes for English. You've got Jamie George on the bench, Finn Baxter, the captain, Moro Atoji, Tom Curry, Henry Pollock is on the bench. Yeah, I think that's a very, very, very good move by Broth, the coach of England, because the hype around this young kid, he's not as good as people think he is quite yet. He's a fantastical talent, but people are acting like he's goddamn Artie Surveyor or Peter Steph-Toy. He's way off that, and it's a good thing. There was a big hype around in England last week, basically giving him the equivalent of the Ballon d'Or already. And I think the coach is doing the right thing, putting him on the bench, bringing him down to earth, because himself, he's been chirping a lot, you know. And when the big boys play against him, they're coming for him. Then Ben Spencer, another guy on the bench I like. So that is your English lineup against your Fijians. Of course, I'll pump that once again live with me on Saturday on this channel. All you got to do is hit the notification button and you will know everything. Then, of course, another game that's very interesting, and that is the Ireland against Japan. There you go. Those are your two lineups there for both teams. Look, Japan coming off a thrashing from South Africa. Ireland coming off a bad loss to New Zealand, put it this way. Both teams will want to bounce back. I'm sorry to say, but a narrow loss would be a bounce back for the Japanese. I can't see them beating Ireland. I mean, not happening. Let's have a quick look at the Japanese starting 15. So everybody that has a good stomach muscles can enjoy it now, because there's going to be a lot of laughter here. They have Kenata Kobayashi at 1, Kenji Sato at 2, Shushai Takachui at 3, Epeneri Uvati at 4, Warner Derns at 5, that's easy. Ben Gunter at 6, that's easy. Sanichi Shimowaka at 7, Fulalao Makizi at 8, Nanuta Saito at 9, Sengzin Lee at 10, Tamoki Ozada at 11, Charlie Lawrence at 12, Japanese all the way, Dylan Riley, Konnichiwa Dylan Riley at 13, Kipai Ishida at 14, and Yoshitaka Yazaki at 15. I know South Africans have a lot of fun with the Saki at the end of the name. Now it's got nothing to do with a pair of balls. There you go. Then your Irish, Andrew Porter at 1, Ronan Keller at 2, Tom Clarkson, he'll be starting at 3, James Ryan at 4, Tad Byrne at 5. He's back. Wasn't he sent off last week? Yeah, that was a crazy red card, man. Was it Tad Byrne that was sent off? I think so. Ryan Bird at 6, Nick Tomine at 7, Kaylin Doris at 8, the captain is back starting, Craig Casey at 9, Jack Crawley at 10, no Gibson Park starting, surprise, surprise, surprise. Robbie Henshaw at 12, 11 is Jacob Scottdale, of course, Tom Farrell at 13, Tommy O'Brien at 14, and Jamie Osborne at 15. I'm quite surprised. No, I'm actually disappointed I can't see Gibson Park, one of my favorite players. Let's have a look at the subs there quickly. Maybe he's on the bench. No Gibson Park at all. Who you got on the bench here for the Irish? Paddy McCarthy, Finlay Bealham, obviously. Shane Pendergast, Sam Pendergast, Jimmy O'Brien, yeah, a few there. The Japanese, Michael Leach, the old man himself. He's been racking up some numbers. I like Michael Leach. Look, we'll get into the tips of this game afterwards, don't forget. This game is not going to be live on our channel. Don't forget, because we can't do everything. Then we did New Zealand and South Africa yesterday in the Defcon, and France and Scotland and all those teams. But I'll just put out the starting 11s very quickly again for those teams. Use your Scotland against New Zealand. If you want to get into depth, we did that yesterday, so check it out. Look, New Zealand's got this one. I mean, look, I'm looking forward to seeing Leroy Carter again. I like him as well. Then, of course, Cam Roygard. And then Ardie Savea, Wallace Satiti. I mean, they got a great squad. New Zealand, I can't see Scotland getting any pleasure out of this game, but we'll see. That is our lineup for New Zealand and Scotland. I don't want to get too depth. We did do that yesterday. Then we'll talk about the South African and the French starting lineups. But before we do that, got to plug this because it is live on this channel tomorrow. There you go. And that one will be done by Vern. Scotland against New Zealand. Check it out because I'm going to be doing Manchester United against Tottenham Hotspurs at the same time. So check that one out. Then we move quickly on to South Africa against France. These are your lineups for both of those teams. French at the moment got some injuries, but this is the best lineup that they can put out there at the moment. I think they should be very competitive. I think it should be a tight game. I'm looking forward to seeing Bowen Fenta on 1. So that's a surprise pick for me. And yeah, Lutiaga starting at 5. He deserves that. Then, of course, look, man, everywhere. I mean, from our backline, Kurtley Arnes and Damien de Limber, Jesse Kriel, Jeslyn Colby, Damien Willemse. That is the World Cup winning backline. So let's see what they can do tomorrow. Of course, that game. Now we're not doing that one. Of course we're doing that one. That one's also live on the channel. And then me and Vern will be together because we always do the Springbok games together. So I'll be traveling over to his place to do that together. So check that out. We'll be coming on early there, 8:30 already. The game only starts at 9:10. We have a 40-minute, we can have a look back at all the results of the afternoon. We can check out the teams. So make sure to join us for that. There you go. That is it so far. So let me just Now we're getting into my tips for the weekend. Like I said, it doesn't matter. I'm going to cover my face here. Those are the fixtures. And here are my tips for the weekend. I'm going to go to the side here quickly. Just want to move the camera over a little bit, that I can, I like to see myself, there you go. We'll move it over. There you go. Move me over there. There. Lot better, man. Improves the picture, doesn't it? All right, so let's have a look at this. I got Georgia beating the USA 31-18. That's my tip. We'll see on Monday how good I am on these tips. Then Ireland against Japan, 48-21 is my tip. If you guys want to give any of your tips, if you want to take part in this, there you go. Send me an email with your tips for all these games. And then we'll see you compared to me. I'll get Vern to do some of these tips as well. And we'll see who's the tip master in rugby. Portugal, Uruguay. Be honest, I'm not astute with both teams, but I think Portugal's got the edge there. Give my tips too. There you go. You give your tips tomorrow. No problem. Portugal, I got 37-35. Romania against Canada. I know Vern said Romania was going to win. I'm going 21-24 Canada. Hey, my friends in Canada. Nothing like a good Canadian whipping. Then Scotland, New Zealand. I think it'll be a tight game for about 20 minutes, 25 minutes. And then I think New Zealand will get over the hump easily. 10-31 there for New Zealand. Whoa. I just heard Romania's going to win. Okay. New Zealand by 15. Use that email address up there and give me your tips for all the games. I'd love to do that, because I'd love on nothing more than on Monday to say, oh, Cameron had this and Vern had that and Jan-Lou had this. That'd be great. Then England against Fiji. I think England will be comfortable 48-18. I'm sorry, all my Uzos. I will be crossing all my thumbs that you do a lot better than that. Italy or Australia. I'm going 28-29 Australia. South Africa, France, also a very tight one there. I'm going 21-24 for the Springboks. Email Vic, there you go. And then, of course, Colombia against Mexico. I'll be honest, I do not know a lot about Colombian and Mexican rugby. I know more about the Pablo Escobar and the Suarez cartels there. There you go. 24-22, I've got Colombia winning this one. And then, of course, Wales against Argentina. And I'm going with the Archies here. I have to go with the Archies. Put up the email. I will put up the email. I'll put up everything. There you go. There's my scores. There you go. I got Wales 21. I got Argentina 37. Those are the games. You guys, I'm going to leave it there for a second. You guys can write them down, put up your tips, everything like that. The email also does run at the bottom of the screen, Vern. Remember that. It does run at the bottom of the screen, but it's on top there now. That is my tips for the weekend. We'll see how good I am on Monday. I'll get Vern to do exactly the same tips. We'll see. We will see what happens there. But enjoy your weekend. It's rugby. Don't forget this evening, 2 basketball games live on this channel. El Clasico with Vern, Barcelona, Real Madrid, and with me it's Olympiacos Piraeus against Partizan Belgrade. And otherwise, tomorrow morning, your favorite morning talk show host is back. The paper tosser Vern at 7 o'clock. And then what a Saturday we're going to have. What a Saturday. We have got Man United on. We have got Scotland, New Zealand. We got England, Fiji. We got Italy, Australia. We got South Africa against France. So make sure to join us for all that tomorrow. That's the show. I don't want to go too long. Jeez, it's been going on for a while now. Hope I helped you a little bit there with all the lineups and stuff like that. Please send us an email with all your tips, and see you guys soon. Enjoy. What time is the France game? Starts at 9:10 Swiss time. So Cameron, that would be 10:10 in the evening in South Africa. We'll be 45 minutes earlier. We'll be on site. But you know what? Just hit that notification button and you will get all the live shows and all the updates. All right, guys. See you later, man. Ciao.